Okay, here we are at my LEGO MOC Hospital, which I've put together over the last few days with 2 sets of LEGO and a whole heap of my other stuff, which has taken me ages to find, but it's finished. So here we are. It's a LEGO hospital. It only takes 5 people, but it's only a sort of a temporary place for them to stay before they get transported to a bigger hospital on a helicopter or by ambulance over there. So let's have a look at it from the right side. Over on the right side here we have the helicopter bay and the storage area. Over here is a staff room where the staff can relax, and also a doctor's surgery. We'll have a look at that with the roof off later on. Here's one of the entrances, and oh my goodness, there's a man there that doesn't look all that good in his wheelchair. We can open up the door here and go in. As we go in, we go through the entranceway, and you can see the receptionist back there, I think, with a lady talking to the receptionist. She might want to go to the hospital or see somebody. There's a lady sitting on a bench at the front there. And along the front, we have a mum and a baby and a paddle pop man. I don't know what he's doing in this. And some nice fellow with some flowers trying to say hello to a pretty girl there. Now, as we go back from the front, we go up. There's an elevator shaft which runs around the back, which I'll show later. We go up to a general ward for people recovering or just from general illnesses. We go back down to the reception area, and there's a little canteen back there for selling ice creams. There's another entrance here with a sliding door. Slides open and we can go in, and we can come into another entrance way that way. Up above that we have an intensive care unit, and back to the general purpose ward. So we can pan out a little bit. Now we're going to go around, because this is where the ambulance would bring in some patients here, and we'll get the ambulance to drive out of the way, because here's the main corridor here. And the elevator shaft. You can see someone's on the elevator shaft already with an orderly ready to take him up to the general purpose ward. Next to that we have our x-ray room and also a small pathology section. And just above there we can see something of the intensive care unit. There's someone in intensive care getting something done to them. We'll have a look when I take the roof off. There, round the back is the back of the x-ray room. Someone's had a good x-ray there. And there's someone getting an x-ray. We can have a look over there of his arm. We'll have a look at him later on. Round the back here we have the elevator shaft going from the ground floor up into the general purpose ward, and also it services the intensive care unit. Going along there we have a crash cart. Oh, that's waiting at another door, which is usually locked because there's a main pharmacy just at the back there. Going through where, let's push that across a little bit. We now have, that's the doctor's consultation room and the staff room. Straighten it up a little bit. Yeah, and we'll have a look at that when I take the roof off of that as well. So going up to have a look at the roof area. Coming up and over, we can have a look down. Helicopter passing, there's all the roof on. The roof took quite a while to do actually. So going over to the front with all the people out there. And speaking of the roof, let's take some roof off and have a look. We'll take the roof off the general ward, and we'll take the roof off intensive care first and have a look inside. Here's our general ward and also the elevator shaft. And here's intensive care. We have a nurse at a nurse station here. Swivel chair. There's a patient coming up through the elevator shaft, and if I grab the elevator shaft knob you can see him coming up with the orderly. Here he comes, and there he goes down again, up and down. The elevator shaft's quite dangerous, but it has got little doors to stop people falling into them. The general purpose ward has its own toilet and also that serves for the rest of the hospital. We can have a look at the general purpose ward at the back. There's there's 3 beds, and there's a guy in red there in one of the beds. He's red. I don't know what he's doing. He looks quite happy for being in hospital. Going to intensive care. We've got 2 doctors here knowing over a patient on the bed, wondering what's wrong with him. And if we go up and around, and there's our intensive care, which also has its own toilet. We can get the lights off and have a look at this gentleman here, and move around the other way. And we can have a look at some of the machinery. And there we go. The doctor's having a bit of a chat. What's wrong with this guy? I don't know. We'll find out later on, hopefully, and he'll be all right. So we'll put the lights back on him so they can keep up their consultations. Back through the elevator shaft, back through the general purpose ward. And we'll go back down again. There's a sink for the general purpose ward, the elevator shaft and pharmacy. Now, we'll have a look at the x-ray room, which is over here. I'll just take the roof off of that and have a look inside. You see a gentleman there is getting his hand x-rayed. I wonder what's happened to him. Well, we can find out. We can actually remove the x-ray ward and come and have a look. If we take him out, there he goes, and we can have a look at, see what sort of x-ray he had. If we have a close look, it's an x-ray of a Lego hand, and it looks pretty good to me. But if you really want a good look at it, we can press the light, and there we go. Much better look at the hand of the Lego man, and I think he's going to survive quite well. So moving across, there we go, back through the main corridor and back over here. And the last one we'll have a look at is the doctor's consultation room, which I'll take the roof off. I hope. There we go. Roof's come off the doctor's consultation room and the staff room. I'll put it back. Get the helicopter out the way. Helicopter's flown off. Must be pretty noisy in there with the helicopter there. And we see there's the doctor's consultation room. He's got a patient there. He's talking to that patient. Straighten that up a bit. That patient may or may not be admitted. And here's a little staff relaxation room where they can have a chat to each other and a cup of coffee and maybe a little cake or a drink. So there we have it. And now, looking right up and above, I don't think we'll get an overall pan there of the top. Coming back down. The 2 sets I used to start it off with were set 60204 and 4429. And so we come back, we move out, and we'll say bye-bye to my first MOC.